What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I've got another very important AMC update to bring all of you this evening. So what we're going to be covering in this update is a little bit of what's been going on with the price action of AMC right now. Now, it's definitely not something that we want to be seeing, obviously down 10.28% on the day, but there is a silver lining that I want to go over with you guys. Now, in addition to this, we are going to be going over some things that we have never seen before on AMC. We have one, all-time high shares on loan, and two, all-time high shares sold short at the current time. We are seeing some really interesting things happen with cost to borrow as well. Over on GME as well, their short interest is getting absolutely insane in terms of the cost to borrow, shares on loan, and estimated shares sold short right now. So we're going to be going over that and exactly what that means for us going forward. There's a concept called a bear market rally that if we end up seeing something like this happen, we could be seeing an event similar or larger to last June and last January of 2021. So before we get into all of that information, if you enjoyed the information and analysis that I provide for you in this video, make sure you go down and hit that like button. It costs you nothing to do it, but it really helps us out a whole lot in getting this information out to as many people who want to learn. And if you guys want to see more videos like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. And again, guys, you've seen the amount of success that people have been having with the 1348 trading strategy. Again, at this time in the month, if you do join right now using the link down below, you won't get charged until the 1st. So if you want a little bit of a grace period to come in and kind of check out and see what we're all about, make sure you guys come and do that. So AMC closed the day today at $10.39. We saw a lot of volatility in the market. The market was selling off in the morning, started to come back up. AMC did not come with it. Definitely not what we want to see. But again, remember, there is that silver lining that we are going to be talking about. So again, taking a quick look at that 4-hour time frame, still not really showing us what we really need to see in order for me personally to start buying calls. We could end up seeing a little bit of a double bottom here down at 970. It's very possible that we do see that before we start moving back to the upside. And there's some very specific reasons as to why that is a possibility at the current time. Now, coming over to the Ortex data right here, let me just give this a quick refresh to make sure we're kind of caught up to speed on everything that happened today. First, max cost to borrow 5.84%, stepping up, and we have all-time high shares on loan of 163.41 million. That's pretty insane. Now, when we come over and take a look right here at the estimated short interest, 22.5%, and the estimated shares sold short right now, 116 million, which is an all-time high, but confirmed by the exchange with the amount of shares that, remember, are just reported here, 108.87 million shares are sold short right now, or on May 13th, which was the settlement date at the current time. That's also absolutely insane, meaning that there is so much short interest in these stocks right now that if they start to get that little move back to the upside, well, it could be a very, very, very drastic move because of all the bets that have been placed against these stocks. Now, there's a specific reason why. Again, we're not just going over the numbers here, but when we come over and take a look at GameStop's numbers specifically, we've got 24.93% estimated short interest, 40.31% max cost to borrow, 24.78% average cost to borrow as well. So these numbers absolutely crazy as well, even though they saw a net return of about 197,000 shares today. Now, with all of this short interest that we're seeing right now, we need a catalyst to kind of get us moving back to the upside. Now, previously, when we come over to AMC on the 4-hour and you look at exactly when we started to see this run, it was on March 14th all the way up to March 29th. Now, this perfectly lines up with the days that the SPY bottomed and also ran up to its more recent high. So how are we going to get AMC and the market in general kind of going in kind of the right direction? We're in pretty much of a bear market right now. We are headed towards a recession. What are we looking for here? Well, there's a concept called a bear market rally. A bear market rally refers to a sharp, short-term rebound in share prices amid a long-term bear market decline. Bear market rallies are treacherous for investors who mistakenly come to believe they mark the end of an extended downturn. As the primary bearish trend reasserts itself, the disappointment of those who bought during the bear market rally helps to drive prices to new lows. Now, here's some of the key things right here. Bear market rallies are significant counter-trend recoveries in stock prices that can last as little as a few days to as long as months before the market reverses to new lows. So we saw that initial sell-off in the overall market. Let me see if I can pull up SPY really quickly right here. So we saw that initial sell-off in the overall market coming down here all the way down to these levels where we saw about 413. before we bounced from 413 all the way up to 463 about, and then we started to sell back off. We could easily see something very similar to this start to happen. What is the catalyst for that? Well, you're going to need to see a little bit of exuberance in the overall market. So to kind of entice people to kind of think that the kind of tumble is over. But again, investors are not stupid, and big money is not necessarily stupid here. So we are going to need to see something start to come up, maybe some good data coming out about inflation, something coming out about the Russia and Ukraine conflict that is kind of going to bring us back to life over here in the overall market. But again, remember, it's the same days right here, March 14th, the peak, March 29th. So when we start to see those things start to happen with all of this short interest in these stocks, it could get absolutely ridiculously nasty, which would be awesome to see. Now, in addition to this, we also have some new SEC charges coming up today that I do want to quickly take a look at with you guys. So TradeZero settles SEC charges. It misled customers about meme stock trading halts. You're not going to be happy about this, but the Securities and Exchange Commission on Tuesday said the online brokerage TradeZero America and its co-founders settled civil charges. They falsely told customers that they did not restrict purchases of volatile meme stocks last year. The settlement calls for TradeZero and Daniel Pipitone, 47, both from New York City borough of Brooklyn, to retain an independent compliance consultant for 2 years and pay respective penalties of $100,000 and $25,000 without admitting wrongdoing. So again, guys, the SEC is not really coming to the rescue here. They're really going to be kind of the institution that's going to be trying to pick up the pieces after we see these situations finally play out after all this time that we have been waiting. Now, the last thing that I kind of want to touch on here quickly is a little bit of the options chain, because again, when we're thinking about a very significant move up, the options chain is going to be very important no matter what people on Twitter may like to tell you. So right now we do have SSR on, short sale restricted. You can only short when the stock is going up. Is that really a big deal? Not really. There's 800,000 shares available to borrow. According to Untitled Chapter, I wouldn't necessarily use this as your only source of data, just because they're only getting their data from one broker, and Ortex is getting their data from 85% of the total market. But when we come down here a little bit, looking at the June expiration date right now, there's 204,000 call contracts out of the money right now, but there's 117,000 put contracts in the money. So remember here, we do have a very significant amount of institutional shorting in AMC, but there's also a very significant amount of market maker shorting that needs to hedge these put options that they are selling that are then running in the money. Remember, when you sell a put, you have a positive delta. In order to balance that delta, if you are far enough below max pain, you need to go out as a market maker and short the underlying stock in order to maintain that directionally neutral or delta status. Now, if we start to go on a run and we start to see that bear market rally, which is possible, is it probable? Well, we're really going to have to kind of wait and see what the news from the Fed is going to be over the next couple of weeks. But we could see all of these puts start to run out of the money, so then buying back some of those short-term shorts that they need to hedge, and a lot of these 204,000 calls starting to run in the money. And again, remember, in my opinion, it's not necessarily the best time to be buying calls on AMC if your main goal is to be making money on them. But we are going to see these numbers start to increase over the next couple of weeks as we finish off kind of what we were seeing with the previous monthly options expiration date in May, and people start to look towards that June expiration date going forward. So that is going to wrap up this update on AMC. If you enjoyed the information and analysis that I provided for you in this video, make sure you go down and hit that like button. It costs you nothing to do it, but it really helps us out a whole lot in getting this information out to as many people who want to learn. And if you guys want to see more videos like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. So I hope you guys are having a great evening, and I'll see you guys in the next one.